Hey, hello everyone. And now we have started the recording, so I'll do the bunch of things I have to do. Hello everyone. My name is Priyanka Sagu. Today is January 8th, 2025. This is the very first SIG ContribEx meeting of the year 2025. Hooray, we are starting with an APAC one. Uh, I'm super happy. This meeting abides by the Kubernetes and CNCF Code of Conduct, which pretty much comes down to please be nice and excellent to each other and please be helpful to each other. This meeting is being recorded currently, so if you don't want your audios or videos to be recorded and later published to a Kubernetes YouTube channel, feel free to keep your audios or videos turned off. And with that, thank you for joining. I will paste a link to the document again. We'll try to capture the notes there um, and maybe go through some of the points. So, right before the recording, Nishita uh, asked a question and talked about some areas where she wants to contribute to Kubernetes and say contributes in general. And that was a follow up question from the KubeCon India SIG ContribEx maintainers track presentation. So I'll just give a few updates. So yesterday, me, Kaslin and Madhav are two other two leads for SIG ContribEx. So we were discussing some areas that we would like to introduce in 2025 or focus on. And one of those areas is actually creating a new sub project. It's a proposal yet. We did not come up with this. So all the credit goes to somebody who proposed it. Um, and it's a proposal about creating a new working group for maintainers tooling. So the idea is to create some tools or uh, brainstorm first what are the problems that maintainers and contributors within the Kubernetes community are facing, and if those problems could be solved by creating some tools around that. And one good example could be there are a lot of issues that every SIG receives on a daily basis in their GitHub, um, in many GitHub repos that any SIG owns. If there was some automation to somehow um, help move those issues to a good interface, good user dashboard where where it could help triaging them better, or some automation around helping new contributors so that if a PR is being opened and there are some more automation there to help guide the new contributor further on what needs to be done. So this is not a new idea. We do already have a lot of such automations, tools spread across the entire Kubernetes project. So this working group is going to be a place where we start collating all those information in one place, start brainstorming what do we really need. Maybe we do not need all those tools and maybe there is some other solutions, all those kind of discussions, and eventually uh, creating some tools. So it's just a proposal at the moment, but definitely since it's going to start as a working group, it will have a deadline and some goals. If this is of some interest, we do not have it yet. uh, Caslin has reached out to the people who actually created a draft proposal for this working group to come to one of the SIG ContribEx meetings and present about it and present their ideas or what's the big picture idea, and then we can maybe launch the working group. So far it's in proposal mode. There is something that's going to come out of that. um, but that's one thing. But while that was in discussions, me and Madhav were also discussing we already have some tools uh, which are part of SIG ContribEx and can use a lot of help. uh, a tool like, I think if I could find it out. Uh, so we have this tool called Maintainers, um, and it was created by DIMS, I believe, and Madhav also contributed to it quite a lot. But as you can see, if my screen is visible and it's on a different, can somebody confirm if I am sharing a screen which shows a GitHub repo? Because I
No,
think
not
I'm
yet.
not. Yeah, let me uh, let me do this. Okay, so I'm talking
Yep.
about this tool, Kubernetes SIG maintainers. And we can see, other than bumping the version, which happened 2 years back, there is no activity. And but this is a super useful tool, and we do want to continue using it in a lot of areas where SIG ContribEx needs uh, the output of this tool. So what, in a nutshell, what these tools help us is to get a lot of statistics from our project, from a a lot of areas within our Kubernetes GitHub repos. And so things like who are the people who are part of owners and owners alias, and what, in what capacity, as maintainers or approvers, and then eventually using those stats to check whether people who are currently listed in the owners file, are they active, do we need, like, need to add new people, do we need to remove new people who are already there and are have moved on from those areas. So things like that. This is one tool that somebody can start, like, going through first of all, and then we can, we already have areas that we want to uh, like new feature request kind of things that we could try hack around and see if we can improve maintenance tooling and add those capabilities as well. So just sharing, if somebody is interested, see, ContribEx do have code related areas as well. So this is one, if people just want to hack around. If you're done like hacking around, after you have hacked around it, let us know, and let us know that you have the bandwidth to contribute further, and then we can sit together in one of these calls only, and brainstorm what needs to be done on this tool further. Also, maybe like there would be some areas in this tool right now which might require regular maintenance as well, so we can figure out that. But I just wanted to add it as one of the areas that we do need help with. So I'll add it to the open mics, maintainers tool. And the other thing, Nishita, you mentioned was the inactive users in Slack. Um, so I went through that conversation from the last SIG ContribEx meeting we had. Did you also come across this here only, or it was someplace else?
No, I was reading this actually. Any other place I did not see. That is other applications which were trying to do the same thing. I did not find actually.
Okay. Yeah. So I just wanted to ask, like, if there was some conversation happening around it elsewhere, which I'm not aware of. I think this is one area that will be not a super duper new contributor friendly area, because this is like requiring access to actually remove or do something with inactive users, user accounts, not users, right?
Mhm.
Um, it will definitely require like access to privileged access. So I don't think like this will be done by somebody who is new to SIG ContribEx. It will be done by the Slack admins most likely, and the discussion was around uh, what do we really want to do. Like we can't delete users. The whole point of us talking about Slack, Kubernetes Slack, is to invite users, and not like um, delete users once they have joined the Slack. So that's not what we want to do, unless that's the solution that most people agree on. But right now it's in that discussion phase. What do we really want to do? And similar to this, we have other areas in SIG ContribEx as well, which are like uh, which require some elevated access. Hi, Dhaval. I see a link in the chat. I will try to open it. And let's see. Yes, this was created by Josh. I'm not sure if I'm still sharing the right screen. Let me fix it for once and all. Uh, or was I sharing the right screen?
Yeah, that was the right screen.
Okay. Hi. Um,
Hi.
yeah, I. But Josh actually added a help wanted here. So,
Actually, I went through this whole thread and also
uh-huh.
the links given by Deans in one of the comments.
Mm-hmm.
And see, the thing is that there are so many undocumented APIs by Flag. As you
Mm-hmm.
rightly said, it will require somebody with some privilege to test it out first before you start doing any coding thing. So one might need to create a dummy workspace on their own, create some users,
Yeah.
and then try this out because it
Mm-hmm.
would be really difficult problem to solve as most of the APIs that we would want they are undocumented or not available now for the free users.
Oh, free users. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, if you have actually done some research already, like things like, okay, there is no such API available for free tier users, and you,
yeah.
if you have like done some research and you are finding a blocker because you are not able to test it, um, I would say like just comment here, document your findings. Same for you, Nishita, if this is something of interest to you. Maybe you both can work together. Uh, Thank you, first of all, for sharing the thread. I did not go through this thread.
No, no, it was
Let
already there in the document itself, meeting
Oh,
notes.
okay. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
but I went
I
through
think
it
this is the one.
earlier
Okay.
after the KubeCon.
Okay. Um, yeah, I would still say I'm like it's highly it will require some time like to
Right.
stay in SIG ContribEx for somebody to actually give a privileged user access, but it's not like impossible. So if you have, like I said, if you have spent some time already like figuring out what APIs we have, which are not like maybe nicely documented, but they are there in some shape and form in the Slack API docs, and we could make use of something like that. And if we can do a POC for that using a free tier account, maybe we can't like replicate a user who is like inactive for 1 year, or I don't know. But if we can try doing that for maybe like a shorter duration and just uh, uh, doing some operations, Slack operations, admin operations using API, um, um, we can try that, yeah. But again, like we haven't reached at a decision. uh, but I do see like this is a problem we have, and anything anyone can do in direction of creating a tool to do that, because it's definitely like we can make, even if we do it for one round, um, it's not sustainable. So we'll definitely need a tool, some sort of automation that will uh, help us prune these inactive users. Um, uh, Dhawal, if you have tried, I would just like highly suggest come and comment here with all your
Sure, sure.
findings and
I
on
was
the
just sharing
blockers
that
as well.
for, yeah, I sorry I interrupted.
No, no, it's
So I was
fine.
just sharing that for everyone's sake. So Dims have this comment, and that comment leads us to existing code within Kubernetes
Mm-hmm.
infra, Slack infra, and
Yeah.
it shows some of the undocumented APIs how they are working on it. But yes,
Mm-hmm.
there is a follow-up comment by somebody right below it and it has some of the uh, other things that we have to be worried about, that what should be considered deactive user and how to deactivate, and then what would be the flow for the reactivation. So there are
Yeah.
a couple of things which are yet to be decided on.
I think like uh, so I will go through this thread again for the minute details, but from like roughly this summary that I saw here, um, I have a feeling that since we do not know what we can do with Slack APIs, if somebody can figure out what we can do exactly, like what is possible and what is not possible, uh, then what then at least we would be able to answer what is possible. Also, the second thing is, and it's true for GitHub as well, since Kubernetes is such a big project, we do have like dedicated channels to talk to, let's say GitHub, at times GitHub staff. And I assume I can't say it for 100% with 100% surety that we do if we have such channel with Slack, but we can try if there is like some API thing, API knowledge or API documentation we need from Slack and we do not have it available publicly, we can help. Like SIG ContribEx can help reach out to Slack teams and find out some documentation. So I think like the first good step here would be to just do some testing with the documentation that is available public and see what is available and what is not, and what is available but it's like unusable, things like that. um, and just and I would not worry much about uh, these details right now, because if we are just trying it um, over a dummy Git Slack organization workspace, it would not affect anyone. So like even if we are deactivating or removing, we can cross check whether it's actually synonymous, these two things are synonymous or not. um, yeah, that's what I would say. um, this also falls under, I believe, like the working group I talked about earlier. Like tools like this, whatever tools we end up creating to help with Slack operations, can help with maintenance maintainers as well, in general. So if you have um, if you are going to be participating in this, I would highly suggest that you also participate in the conversations and that working group as well. But let's see when we get a brief from the people who are willing to run that working group. Hopefully, that should be soon. Um, yeah, Nishita, is this not just this, but in general? I tried, I spoke a lot, but was any of that helpful at all? And feel free to ask any questions you have as follow up. I know, like we talked about a lot of things, not all of them are right away. Uh, Good first stuff, good first issues, or good first stuff, but uh, how I approach with anything which is new is just first give it a go, try it before like even trying to fix anything or solve any issues, or just reproduce. So if I'll just take example of maintainers here. I would say like play around with this tool. You mentioned you understand Go, so just see how much of the tool existing code base that you can understand, and maybe just find out what you think is can be improved, and those could be uh, good areas for contributions right away. Um, plus. Plus, yeah, I mean, if I personally like opportunities like this where I have just a space where I'm not like time bound, so I can take my time to understand uh, an area, a code base, and then work on it. So uh, I would suggest picking up one of the tools we have, just going through the code base a bit, and then going through the issues that are open here. I see there is only one, but it's fine. um, I'm just talking in general. Maybe there are other tools and they might have a lot of other issues as well. So you can go, once you have gone through the code base, it's just cursory going through. It's not possible to understand every single line at all. um, just cursory, like understand how to rerun it, how to build it on your local machine, and then maybe go through the issues. Or if you have any ideas, if you think something is broken, something can be improved, just create an issue and create a PR. Yeah, I would suggest doing that for now. And once we have those, that working group conversation getting started, we will, one of the goals before even we launch that working group is to actually have some goals for that working group. So we will figure out those, and then maybe there'll be work coming out of that as well. So if you are interested in those kind of contributions, stay there and there'll be updates. There was also one more tool uh, we were discussing. Let me see if I could find it. uh, Lots of tabs. Again, there is no immediate action item with this tool. We have this is some tool Caslin introduced to other ContribEx leads, including me. And Caslin was introduced to this tool by somebody she met in during one of the KubeCons, and we are thinking uh, if this could be one of the tools we can use to help with uh, fetching some maintainer stats. And this is similar to the maintainers tooling we are discussing, like getting some stats out of our GitHub repos and see which area is being worked by, let's say, one contributor on and require more maintainers, um, or which area is not worked at all, um, things like that. So uh, immediate action item on us was to actually get a demo of this tool uh, during one of the SIG ContribEx meetings, see how it works, and if this could be something we can just right away use. And um, maybe this does what maintainers tool already does and more. So maybe we can reuse it and then deploy it within the Kubernetes infrastructure. So um, just FYI, we were discussing about this as well, and there'll be uh, a demo about it in one of the upcoming calls. But again, all we did yesterday was just discussing. So there are no dates to when um, discussions are going to happen around the working group. I'll paste links. Uh, I'll make sure I paste them. Um, and this JetBrains tool.
It
Yeah, these are some things that are in discussions. Okay, who
it
I blogged. Go ahead.
Priyanka, it seems like they already have calculated this thing for the Kubernetes repo.
Yeah. I learned like that's what Caslin said. So she was introduced to this tool by Lucy Sweet. Uh, I don't know if you are looking, wherever you are looking is also mentioning their name. But yeah, Caslin mentioned that that person was also showing her stats on Kubernetes. Uh, Kubernetes slash Kubernetes repo or some Kubernetes repo. So we wanted to just invite them to one of our calls and see what exactly it is. I don't think it will be like too much of work. It's going to be like whether we need it or we do not need it, and we already have something else in house that can do that. And if we need it, what we need to actually deploy it, that most likely is going to be a prow job, like how we deploy other tools. But yeah, if anyone is interested in helping with deploying this, we can help you out with how prow jobs are written and once we have a decision. So just giving an FI, this was also in discussions. And I don't know where is this tool, but let's find out together. So, well, we landed at the right issue only. So we have some tool called branch protector. um, this was failing a lot in last 6 months. I mean, actually, this has been failing quite a lot in last many years, but we were blocked by the failures um, in last 6 months a lot. And uh, this is some tool that was created, and we do not have those people anymore in around the project who actually worked on originally on the code base. So what we need is this particular issue I think is solved now last night only. But this could be one more area if you want to like own a tool and start maintaining it, like maintainers tool or other tools we discussed. Branch protector is one other area which comes under one of the SIG sub projects of SIG contribEx. And we could help somebody uh, own this area and start maintaining it. So, FYI, branch protector, and where should be the code base? Branch protector. Hmm. Let's see if the job tells us anything. Uh, branch protector. Is it inside? Okay, while I'm talking, Nishita, I just want to check how are you feeling? All of
Yes, yes,
the
I'm
any
there.
of yeah, like any of this, feel free. Like I know we talked about a lot and none of this would make sense right away. But if any of this, even like remotely, you find interesting and you want to like explore, just explore and ask questions. Feel free to ask as many questions as you want during one of these calls. And uh, even if we do not know the answers, we'll try to find out answers. Um, yeah, but
Yes, I'm
that
there.
is what I can suggest. And if whatever like uh, issues blockers you have, feel free to share them. Don't, and not just in this call, but maybe you can use SIG ContribEx channel as well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So branch protector should be in test infra. Anyway, I'll find it out where is the code base. Maybe it's a different. No, what about Kubernetes 6? Okay, I will find out and I'll put a link with all other links as well in the notes. But I'll take a stop. We talked about a lot of things. We just breeze through them. I think what we are going to do this year is actually make them as some actionable items, record them somewhere where new contributors can find it. Plus, also record what needs to be done actually, like not just this discussion where we just talked about a few tools and uh, very vaguely said like they need maintenance, but what actually is needed. We'll try to record that in some shape and form. Maybe most likely a GitHub issue we'll use to track those information. Yeah, that is that was mostly what we discussed last night. Um, those are a lot of technical stuff which we do not usually discuss. Okay. Double. I saw you pasted a link.
Oh,
So
sorry,
what?
I think pasted two different links together. Let me
Oh,
provide a proper
that's
link.
yeah. So the last one is actually the
Uh,
job. So uh,
okay,
like I think I had it open as well. So it's a proud job. It is what like runs the branch protector, and it's not the source code. So that would
right.
be in like test infra or uh, I was trying to find it here because we have other tools like publishing board is here. Yeah, I can put a link. That won't be hard. It's just uh,
Is it part of test infra or would it be part of Pro itself?
it. I mean, I would first take a guess. It should be part of test infra. Mm, no exporter. But we can check like if it is part of.
I'm checking Pro right now. No, this is the docs.
Branch protector. Oh wow, no brow. I meant to write.
Yeah, it's in CMD.
In brow.
In Pro CMD.
Yeah, correct. Okay, yeah. So this is the code base, and who touched this? Somebody touched it 8 months back, and that was to add a sick term. Um, but yeah, like this is the code base, and I believe like these are also here because uh, we moved them out of like the last activity which we are seeing 9 months back. I am assuming it's because we moved Prow out of test infra, and it is mostly that movement. And yeah, we can use some help here. I do not. We lost it. Okay. I think like there would be a way to go back in history and find out what was done, but that's fine. We can figure that bit out. This, thank you first of all, Sai, for
Sure.
finding it out. Yeah, this is one area we will highly appreciate some help. It's not super urgent, so whoever like wants to take a look at it, there is no urgency because we were getting hit by some rate limits that we managed to fix last night just by fixing a token permissions. Uh, but the problem is like this tool is no longer scalable for the requirements of Kubernetes. It we have we have reached the number of branches that it is like uh, hitting rate limits, or it is not able to like sync the rules across those branches in a way which is going to be sustainable going forward. So a change is needed, but firstly maintenance is needed definitely. um, so branch protector, maintainer, and that new working group, I'll just summarize. Those are the few new things happening right now. um, yeah, we do have a lot of backlogs from last year which are mostly captured in leads meeting document, and slowly we will try to bring them to these calls as well once we have them tracked down in some GitHub issue, because I do not want to just come back to these calls and say there is this happening and we do not know what we want done for those things. So once we have like really written down what's needed and what kind of help is needed, and what kind of prerequisites needed, and who can people reach out to. Once we have all those things figured out, we'll start talking about this. Uh, but yeah, I'll stop at that. Uh, Maybe for future meetings, note taking is also something I can use some help with. So if anyone is on the call and like really good at note taking, I can use the time to talk and then we can record the notes as well. Because I really like like Dhaval, Sayak, you shared a lot of links in the chat. They should go back to the document as well eventually. Um, yeah, and I will stop here. Do anyone want to say anything on anything we discussed so far? Um, any questions, any feedback, any comments, anything at all?
So I have a few.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Yeah.
So I want to understand a little bit about where can I get more information with regards to Taste Infra and Prow repos, because of course you shared about the issues, but it would be very helpful if we can understand how they are actually operated, and
Mm-hmm.
how to contribute to them. So I
Okay.
guess, are there any contributor workshop or something which I can refer to on YouTube or some documentation? I went to the KTS documentation, a new contributors course, but
Mm-hmm.
this is regarding these issues within Taste Infra or PROW or Slack Infra.
Yeah. Okay. I did not want you to. Okay. First of all, we do have a lot of resources just around like test infra. Um, i- but
Perfect.
test infra is huge. So when we are like talking about test infra, like I will just, do I have the, or we can just open it again. Um, it would be Kubernetes test infra. So test infra have a lot of like, it's a home for a lot of like infrastructure related tools uh, we have. So all the things that you will see here would be like, not all, but most of the folders that you are seeing here are uh, projects in on their own. S- and we might not have like resources for every single thing, but we do have documentation for sure, and a lot of video KubeCon sessions, or yeah, mostly KubeCon sessions that talks about a lot of these tools. So if you are looking into specifically like one of these, I would say just search for KubeCon talks with the name of these tools, and you might find out. Or if you have like, if you are interested in one of these and you do not find out any resources, just maybe let us know which one we are looking at. Prow specifically, we do have like one tool you mentioned was Prow. So recently we moved Prow out of the test infra to its own repo, which is, I think, we where we found out um, branch protector as well. Prow again is a huge thing. It has a lot of plugins, a lot of like components, and you will find mostly all of them in package pkg. uh, Plugins you will find here. I think there'll be a folder called plugins here. Hmm, do I see? Yeah. So a lot of plugins, like each of these are like small little plugins that Prow uses, or components like crier deck, etc. So uh, I would say there are Prow talks. This one I only gave, this is very specific to uh, Prow jobs. Like if somebody wants to write Prow jobs, but Prow, I think that talk itself, wait, I should not be doing this search on internet when I'm sharing my screen. But anyway, we do have like a lot of Prow related tutorials that people have presented as part of KubeCons or in general. Like I think um, I see a lot. So I would say start with them. Prow also have a getting started guide kind of thing. I Prow documentation. So you can like install the Prow setup, the Prow cluster, full-fledged like Kubernetes. That requires a lot of resources, and then there is a way to set it up like how we try to install Kubernetes clusters with kind or minikube, there is a way to just quickly do it if you just want to understand, for example. So I think like you could find those information in these docs.prow.kds.io. There is a lot of information here and a lot of information about the uh, components and bits and pieces we were talking about. I would say start with that. Start with these YouTube videos. Test infra again. Look for something like SIG. There are a lot of maintainers track that uh, every Kubernetes SIG presents during KubeCons, and most common ones you will find are like deep dive, intro and deep dive, where they talk about uh, the area they own. And test infra is owned by collectively owned and majorly owned by one SIG called SIG test infra. So they would have like maintainers track. Um, Sessions that will maybe give you a big picture idea of what test center is and how it is organized. Was that your question at all? Like, did I answer anything uh, to what you wanted to ask, or it's all different?
No, no, you answered it perfectly. I didn't knew that Prow has its own documentation, and I am on the
Mhm.
documentation page now. So it has,
Mhm.
I think, all the information that I required. Uh, you said that the branch protector thing, I think, has been solved. I don't see that on the issue comments, but
Yeah, we
I'll keep
just
an eye
last
out on
night
it.
did it. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think like the that particular issue I is not the requirement, um, not the only requirement, but the in general, like we
yeah.
want somebody who can spend time going through the code base and like own that area. So become a maintainer of that project. Uh, uh, in general, like if we get issues around that, then that this person becomes, or not this person, we do not want to do this again. We want to have like a set of people who can help us sustainably. And basically we want to build some expertise again around that code base, so that if we are facing issues like this again, they know like, okay, this is the way to fix it, and we know I have to reach out to Dhaval, for example, for that particular area. And then we can add you to uh, jobs and job notification, like whenever that job is failing, it will come to you directly and you can create PRs. That's what most maintainers are doing, like they have their own areas which they are owning and continuously maintaining. But now we have like so many areas, and less people, very less people in comparison to the code base we have. uh, yeah, that's the requirement, like we need somebody just spend time and get like get used to the code base. And also, like I said, that tool is maybe we it maybe will break uh, in some years, maybe sooner than that, uh, based on the number of branches we are using, we are thinking with that tool right now. So maybe that will need like a rewrite of some area, some section, something like that. um, Also, you do not, nobody, whoever is going to do that work, have to do it alone. We just want like somebody who have the bandwidth and can drive it at least. And then we can definitely like uh, sit, like whoever have some expertise or whoever have some bandwidth can sit together and then do some sort of like pair learning, um, asynchronously, synchronously, however it will work. Yeah, that's the idea, like not exactly that particular issue, uh where
Understood,
issues that
understood.
will come. um and I think like this particular area, this section I was talking about, uh where like there are some hack scripts to spin up a prow cluster. Prow is like a cluster of clusters again. So there's a lot involved. um Before like somebody wants to do it, do every step manually. It's like, I think everyone is aware of the Kelsey and our the hard way of doing Kubernetes, deploying Kubernetes cluster. It's like there is that documentation as well for Prow, but then you have the kind and Minikube documentation as well to just like get started with Prow and start playing with it. And I think you will find those here, both those documentation somewhere here. The GK one, because Prow started as a project made by Kubernetes maintainers and made for Kubernetes only at some point when we were highly reliant on Google Cloud. So it was, yeah, Prow has a lot of areas which are still tied to Google and won't work like as smoothly as it works on Google on other cloud. Although we do have Prow integrations with other cloud providers as well now. But yeah, like I think also this Prow area again, I mentioned Test Infra is owned by SIG Test and SIG. Did I say Test Infra? We do not have a SIG Test Infra. Sorry, it is called SIG Testing. That owns most of uh, Test Infra and Prow. SIG testing would be the place to go to. And I confused SIG Test Infra with SIG Kubernetes Infra. KTS Infra. That's a different SIG.
Lots of
Um,
adjacent words. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it I think like I should put a disclaimer. This is the first meeting of the year, and uh, yeah. Uh, I will repeat what I repeat. I think always Kubernetes/community is the place to go to learn about uh, anything Kubernetes. Like if you are not sure, you are looking at some repo and you are not sure which area of Kubernetes project it belongs to, who should I reach out to, you can just try going through one of these SIG hyphen folders. For example, SIG testing, if we go to, this is basically a documentation around the SIG, what who are the people, who are the chairs, how to contact them, what are the mailing lists or what are the Slack channels, and which sub projects they own, uh, like Kine, Bosco's here, Prow, for example. So Test Infra, for example. So this will tell you which area is owned by a particular SIG, Kubernetes slash community. Okay, I think we are at the top of our hour. I just wanted to ask Sayak as well, how is your um, the task at your hand? How is that going? I know you have reached out to Tim
Mhm.
already, and there was some conversation there. I hope it's going good. But
Yeah,
yeah,
like while doing the this larger task, we have found out some smaller tasks that needs to be completed first also. So
okay.
uh, I've already merged a couple of PRs fixing some of
Mm-hmm.
uh, existing issues, and there is one more PR that is pending, which I created only yesterday to fix another issue, which I was working around, but somebody else faced that issue yesterday, and so I quickly created a new PR to fix that first before getting this upgrade PR going. Also, the upgrade PR, we have decided that instead of like upgrading it Doxy to 0.10 or 11 in one shot, we will
Mm-hmm.
upgrade it to 5.1, I believe. We'll upgrade it to 5.1 first,
Okay.
and then we'll create a new PR to upgrade it up to point 11. At least the team is doing it the same way back in docs.
Website
So
docs, yeah. Okay.
yeah, so
Oh,
yeah,
so
so that's
he
how
is already he actually started doing the uh K website, the doc side of it already.
yes, yes, his
Okay,
upgrades are already there, and it has been pending for a while itself.
okay. I mean, yeah. So that is good. Like I think like if it's working in one place and merged, maybe close to merge, then it would be quick for uh your task as well. Yeah.
Mm.
Uh okay. I just wanted like I maybe will reach out to you, but just keep on doing that and we'll make sure we figure out
Sure.
the org membership bit as well
Okay,
soon.
all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
um cool. Double, uh, thank you first of all for contributing all the links in the chat. Thank you. Uh, uh, Seriously, and I hope like it was. I think like you got some resources at least to get started. SIG testing again would be the channel in Slack if you have any specific questions about the tool or in general resources. Um, yeah, if I am like in your space, which I'm mostly am, I usually go to um, first like looking for like if I'm looking for tutorials or a workshop kind of thing, I would search for KubeCon playlists for the past KubeCons, and highly likely I will find something there. And if there is nothing, the next thing I do is I also search Kubernetes Slack. um, because there is a lot of undocumented but documented information stored in like a lot of Slack threads. So people have like faced some problems already, and then you can like do search across Kubernetes Slack and find out similar instances. So if you're looking for some resources, just maybe try searching inside Kubernetes Slack as well. Um, we have this tool called cs dot um, kats.io. This is a super helpful tool if you are working with code. I am not sure if uh, I am just repeating something that you all already know, but I use it. Like if I should have tried it, but for example, if I am looking for branch protector and I want to see branch protector across the entire Kubernetes code base, I should have done this and it would have immediately given me like it's in Prow. So yeah, I do use that a lot, almost on a daily basis. I'm uh, with anything Kubernetes I'm working. So cs.kts.io. Yeah, that's another tool I would say if you're like just like searching in the wild about something, you can start here as well. Okay, we are past the time I am due on my notes. I will take some notes. Um, the last call outs are CFP for lot of KubeCons are open right now. CFP for KubeCon India is up. CFP for KubeCon Japan and China is also open. And the regular CFP I'm talking about, not the maintenance track, no strings attached, nothing. Anyone can apply for proposals. So if you are interested in applying for proposals, do check out. If you are interested in joining, there are also scholarship opportunities. Do check out those as well. And yeah, that's it.
Thanks a lot, Priya. And the last link that you shared, it's a lifesaver, really.
Oh yeah, it is.
I was just using, yeah,
I mean,
I
I
was
will
only
thank
using
to
Google,
the people who
but
are doing it, but I will graciously take the thank you for just mentioning it here as
yeah.
well. Uh, yeah. Uh, Nishita, thank you again for coming back. It's a big thing because I know how hard it is to come back to any place where you have left it. So stay. The only thing I'll say is like if you use the time, like even if you are not actively working on issues, just participating in conversations, just getting used to the terminologies, just getting used to the discussions, will also help to like move further. Um, I I don't know. This is a shameless plug-in again on of another talk, but I gave it this KubeCon, and I think like this is a great way to learn Kubernetes in general. So I'll just mention it uh, again. Wow, I did not want it to say caps, but okay, I got it. um, so it was supposed to be a small talk. It eventually ended up as a uh, tutorial kind of thing. I will paste a link to it in the chat. It's about we have something called Kubernetes enhancement proposals in Kubernetes project, and if somebody really wants to learn like about how the Kubernetes code base is organized, or how a certain feature has been implemented, developed, what were the considerations, anything like that, how you can use these documentations which are in Kubernetes slash enhancements um, repo. Uh, so the gist is anything which has been done in the Kubernetes project, like any feature, any big change, it starts with the documentation. So if you don't understand how a certain feature was implemented, or why it was implemented the certain way, or why Kubernetes community do what it does, uh, you can try to find out uh, reasoning or the documentation or all the prior work in KEPS. And I I talked about some examples of KEP there, and how to like go about reading those KEPs, and how uh, things there. So KEPs is also another way. Even I am doing this. I started by reading a lot of KEPs to understand the Kubernetes code base. Eventually, now writing some KEPs, or working on writing some KEPs. So um, to contribute back in areas where I feel like contributing. So do use KEPs to learn about Kubernetes as well. Yeah, this is more for like uh, developing Kubernetes. Yeah. Okay. Like seriously, 7 minutes tops. I'll ask if anyone wants to talk about anything like last minute, anything we want to capture and discuss maybe during the next call. That's also fine. Any last minute comments?
Like, this is useful. I got to know many things, and I'll come back again. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, do come back. It's fine. Like if you just come back and ask more questions, actually that's super duper fine. That is highly appreciated. But it's fine even if you just come back and maybe just want to listen. Uh, I I would do that. Yeah, as well in many calls. Um, okay, Sayak Dhaval, I hope you both also uh, had good time during the call today. I'm very
Yep.
happy. We had a good first call. I think it was a productive discussion, although nothing was planned on agenda. So something came out of it, which is amazing. I will leave you all to the lunch if you did not have lunch already, and see you all in the next one or in Slack. And Happy New Year again, and have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye bye. See you
Bye
again.
bye. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Good day. Bye.
Thank you.